Good morning, guys. Welcome to the Block Party Bitcoin Daily Analysis, coming to you on the 7th of January 2021. And what an update this is going to be. Unless you've been under a rock for the past 24 hours, you'll notice that 2021 has just said to 2020, hold my beer, watch this. And America just exploded. Now, we saw some pretty hefty rise on the Capitol building. That is absolutely bonkers. And needless to say, in our trading channel, we hit the kill switch on trades because situations like this, you just have no idea how markets are going to react in general. So it is better to be safe than sorry in any circumstance. It turned out, weirdly, the Bitcoin reacted very well to it, and it pumped above its previous all-time high quite considerably, and we just touched $37,752, which is absolutely insane. So it kind of goes to show the sentiment towards Bitcoin at the moment. Now, this could be due to a couple of reasons. I think, the news yesterday was probably not as big as the news the day before, with Biden and the Democrats, taking the lead in America. This ultimately does mean and is pretty much confirming that extended stimulus package, which is huge, and the Democrats being in charge are just going to really kind of help that US infrastructure and financial infrastructure as well. You saw this in the S&P finishing high as well yesterday, and just general markets in general were up yesterday as well. So that's great. I mean, needless to say, there is still kind of a cause to be a little bit worried. I think there is still a hell of a lot of volatility ahead of us. Most notably, I think, the incident from yesterday will trigger a lot of people to start bringing some of their Bitcoin out of cold storage. These can take a bit of, a delay sometimes from the larger amounts, depending on where you're storing it. So it is certainly worthwhile just keeping an eye on what Bitcoin does over the next 24 to 48 hours. Certainly as we close in on that big 40K mark, huge barrier there. So people can be gearing up to be selling off, one, because of volatility that's ensuing, or two, because, that 40K is a pretty awesome number to be selling at if you bought it around about the 8K mark. But enough bragging there. What else is to look at as well? I think Bitcoin will continue its bullish run up until 40K at least. I don't know what's going to happen there, but with these institutions involved, obviously that is the absolute buzzword around Bitcoin at the moment. Institution this, institution that, Michael Saylor, Grayscale, etc. It's always worthwhile being mindful of what these institutions' average buy price of Bitcoin is, because I think ultimately the very large cross-sectional average of all of these institutions' average buy price for Bitcoin is going to be a very kind of quite a good anchor for where the potential bottom of Bitcoin may start to fall. I believe MicroStrategy's is around about 15 or 17K, depending on how much of a effect Michael Saylor's big kind of grand gesture of buying a ton of Bitcoin during that Elon Musk kind of tweet that he was putting out a while ago. So yeah, just bear that in mind, guys. We still have institutions behind us. We have a great stimulus package that is inevitably going to end up some degree of it going into Bitcoin. What else happened yesterday? Today maybe, actually, depending on which time zone you're in. The cryptocurrency market cap broke 1 trillion. This is huge news. It's now in the top 10 most valuable assets, in the world. I think it's 1% of the entire global economy is in cryptocurrency. So this is mainstream now. This is, as I mentioned yesterday, we are fully immersed in the mainstream aspects of it. All of this attention that regulations are coming in place to crypto only reaffirms it more, kind of accrediting crypto as a dominant financial commodity. So super cool. So just stay with crypto, guys. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you don't need to know that. But let's have a look at today's Bitcoin price. So as of the past 48 hours, my prediction line remains pretty much bang on until we get to this 37,600 price point. I didn't anticipate America melting midway through yesterday, but I think it didn't have a great deal of effect in the long term. Now we're in a pretty key area at the moment where we've, I say this every day, I feel, we've hit this resistance, or what seems like a resistance at the moment, at the all-time high of 37,750. And in this little red box here, I think this is hopefully where we're going to range for a little bit. Give alts some time to really boom. Be nice for a lot of your long-term hodls out there. Some of them Reggie was joking earlier in the channel that a lot of the long-term hodls could be done in a week, which would be nice for all of our subscribers and us alike. But yeah, it kind of having that stability in a little bullish rectangle forming would be nice for general sentiment and give, around a lot of unease around Bitcoin's volatility, which is what everyone's kind of opinion is right now. Everyone, I mean me, Nick and Reggie's. So my prediction is we're going to kind of bounce around this area and then continue up to 40k. I've left on my old kind of prediction line because I think it's pretty hilarious how on point that was. Bitcoin must have been following it. But down here, just have a quick look at the oscillators. We've got the MACD starting to a little bit bullish, which dictates nicely to this idea of it staying in the rectangle. We did have a little divergence on the RSI. We are only looking at the 1 hour at the moment because it is a daily analysis. And that's kind of also leaning more towards this, having a little bit of a slowdown up here. What else we got on the kind of buy and sell walls? There's nothing really amazing to show there. We have a sell wall at 37,400, 37. I think it's 37,000, not 400. 37,000. How about we just check? And yep, 37,400 is one of the first kind of semi-notable sell walls. So there is a few bulk buys just starting to appear around here. We've got nothing in the buy sector, pretty much almost 200 Bitcoin down at 36k. So it's not really telling us a huge amount there at all. But I think, like I said, it's not surprising that we're going to see a bit of selling around this all-time high area. Do I think we'll break it? Yeah, I don't think Bitcoin's done yet. 40k is still very, very much my prediction of where we're going. Just a quick interesting note on the volume. As we can see, an almost perfect trend line forming just here. So what's going to be happening here? Well, no surprise, volume, when volume starts to consolidate, it does tend to explode. So we can see probably a little bounce here, come back down, and then a pretty big explosion. And I think this is going to be the explosion which takes us to 40k. Even when we sort of broke out here, we didn't see ourselves going oversold at any point. We didn't see any kind of spikes in any major spikes in volume come into play. So this is a relatively steady organic growth, which is super nice to see. Which kind of means a lot of small buys, not too many massive mega buys. Which means there's a lot of bodies buying into Bitcoin. Good news, basically, very, very good news. But yeah, in essence, that is pretty much my prediction for Bitcoin for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to follow us on our free channel on Telegram, which is at, ready for it, Block Party Trading, super hard to remember. We have an awesome premium service as well as $20 per month, where you get a whole mess of scalps, hodls, premium trades, breakout, short trades, 4 pro indicators, automated day trading, you name it, it's pretty much there, and it's all $20 a month. So come join the revolution. Take it easy. Speak tomorrow.